Hello, I'm Katrina Holte, and I'm the designer of the Edelweiss Patterns line of sewing patterns. Today, I want to answer one of the questions I hear the most, which is what size pattern do I choose? And secondly, why in the world are pattern sizes so very different from what I'm used to wearing off the rack? Now, I use the standard US pattern sizing that has been utilized for decades by the big four pattern companies. So, Butterick, Simplicity, Vogue, McCall's. So, I'm going to explain the history of how we got here from Victorian times to today as far as the sizing charts go. And then, secondly, I'm going to tell you how to pick the correct pattern size for you. And I will put timestamps down in the video description. So if you want to jump to just one part or another, you can do that very easily. Okay, so let's start with Victorian times. In Victorian times, almost all clothing was either made at home or you had a local tailor make it for you. And these are the sizes that they used. The sizing chart usually started at size 12 and it went to size 20. The reason why is because Mrs. size 12 through 20 were the sizes they expected Mrs. young unmarried girls to wear between the ages of 12 and 20. So a 12-year-old girl would be approximately in a size 12 pattern, 16-year-old in size 16, 20-year-old in size 20, etc. Although, of course, some women were full grown when they hit a pattern size 18. And people were very familiar with these numbers and they were normal to them. And then something happened called vanity sizing when department stores started trying to lure female customers in to buy their clothing ready made off the rack. If you're buying something off the rack, it's just not going to fit you as well. So, clothing stores and clothing companies started slowly dropping the numbers down. So let's say you wore a size 18. Well, now you're going into the store and they're saying, oh, you're not a size 18. In our line, you wear a size 14. Well, what woman doesn't like to be told that she's smaller than she actually thinks she is, right? So this is what happened. And unfortunately, it didn't stop there. The numbers just kept dropping lower and lower and lower. So that today in the United States, if you wear a size 6 in off the rack clothing, you probably wear a size 12 in pattern sizes. So here we have a 1950s Montgomery Ward, a fashion catalog from my collection, and they put a size 12 as 34-inch bust, 25.5-inch waist, and 36-inch hips. Now this is quite different from pattern sizing in the same decade, which I'll show you in just a minute here. So this is Butterick, mid 1950s, maybe early 1950s. And they have a pattern size 12 as a 30-inch bust, 25-inch waist, and 33-inch hips. So maybe in the 50s, a size 12 really was the size of a 12-year-old girl. Compare that with today. This is one of my patterns, but this is exactly what's used by Butterick, Simplicity, McCall's, and Vogue. Size 12 is now 34-inch bust, 26.5-inch waist, and 36-inch hips. So again, like I said earlier, that's essentially exactly off the rack size 6. If this is a concept you're interested in studying more about, I highly recommend the book Fit for Real People by Palmer Pletch. Now that we understand the history and how this all got started, let's simply talk about what size do I choose when I want to cut out a pattern. So if you are selecting a dress or a blouse, you want to choose the main pattern size by your bust measurement. If you are making a skirt or a pair of pants, you want to go by your hip measurement. So it's very simple. Take your measurements. If you're in between two sizes, let's say you're a 35-inch bust, which is in between 34 and 36, in between a size 12 and a 14, you are usually supposed to size down. So you go down a size and you would go to the 12. Now, the next question that I hear a lot is, what if I wear one size in the bust, but I'm a different size in the waist? So let's say, for instance, you have a 34-inch bust, which is a pattern size 12, and you have a 28-inch waist, which is a pattern size 14. It's very simple because we have today multi-sized patterns. So when you order a pattern, you're going to have multiple sizes. In my pattern envelopes, I put all the sizes in one. So sizes 6 through 20, you're going to have access to every single size, which is going to make it much easier for you. So in multi-sized patterns, what you want to do is you cut out the bust area at the size you are in the bust, so say size 12. Then down at the waist, you cut out the waist to size 14 or whatever size you are. Now, in between those two lines, you just slope in between the size 14 and 12, or whichever two sizes you are, and you now have a pattern which is completely custom cut out to your exact measurements. If you still have questions about choosing the correct pattern size, please feel free to put them down in the comments below. I will get back to them shortly. If you're just getting into sewing and you need sewing tips and inspiration, I highly recommend going through the archives on my blog. The Edelweiss Patterns blog is something I started back in 2012. So there's many years of sewing projects on there. Thank you for joining me today. Happy sewing, and I will see you next time.